Well, we have some people online already. And first and foremost, I want to welcome Madam first, before my barrister at law. It's always ladies first. So thank you very much, Ma, for being part of this program. Thank you for out of your busy schedule that you just allow us to have you on the program.
My pleasure,
for my
sir.
good brother, Barrister Akinsola, let me put it in broken. You don't take. So that's the only thing I can see. They will say, no be today. You don't take. Thank you very much. So
you don't take serious.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. God bless you, sir. I think last time was it October last year. I was
briefly in Nigeria.
I was briefly in Nigeria, and I was I was able to see Barrister Akinsola.
After how many years?
I haven't met him before, but I appreciate God. Yeah, we talked one day. I want to appreciate him for everything. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
it was a splendid time to actually have had you during those periods, madam. And good evening, ma. So, and now is Kata.
Kata is
bless fine. God. Bless God.
All right.
Okay,
today we are going straight into the program.
Yeah.
And we normally start this program this way. We are going to ask the very first question, and it's a one-word question.
Yeah.
And it says, in one word. That's the normal way we start. How is marriage to you? I'll start with Madam. In one word, ma, how is marriage to you?
Well, it's my pleasure to be here tonight. This evening,
right.
It is an agreement between a man and a woman coming together to start an endless journey of their life.
Okay. That's a good definition.
Right. That's a very good definition.
Yeah.
But we are still going to ask the question again. How is marriage to you?
Like, how did you see marriage?
How did you see marriage in one word?
Well, it has been splendid. It's been God all the way. Marriage has been a blessing.
All right.
The blessing. To crown it all, marriage is a blessing.
Yeah.
Marriage is a blessing. It has been splendid. It has been God all the way. I will give you the result later, madam. To my barrister, in one word, how is marriage?
Now, marriage is greatness.
Greatness.
If I should say,
all right. All right. You both define marriage very well, but I would like to say the first thing is you both failed my first question. I said
in one
word. Greatness would have been, you could have said in one word, how is marriage? Fantastic. Beautiful. Greatness. So you did very well. Why I will give you the full mark is you define marriage in a way that nobody that has been on the program has defined it before. So for that one, I will give the full mark. But for in one word, I will say no. So thank you very much for coming. And we are going straight right now. The first question is, some school of thought believe that starting business with your spouse isn't a good idea. What is your own view about it, madam?
Well, in my own view, I don't think there is nothing bad starting a business with your spouse, depending on individual motives and understanding. Of course, marriage is a companion between a woman and a man, and there has to be understanding that, okay, if we venture into this business, is this something that is going to be fruitful, prosper? That if you are starting this business, is this something that will end well? Two of them, both man and the woman, I mean husband and wife, must have seated, brainstormed together. If we start this business, is this something that at the end of the whole thing, is this something that will come out well? Is this something that will benefit from? Is this something that will be of good and great value onto this marriage and onto this home?
Wow. I get it that we have to sit together, make a plan. The Bible even talk about a man that wants to build a house, that he will have to think, make his own account whether I will be able to finish it. Now I'll go to my barrister, and I want you to look at it at this angle, that women are demanding, and most time when they are the boss, like when they are at the top of a business, there is always this, how do I put it now? There is always this seal about them that sometimes most men found to be, okay, like she's dominating, she's domineering, she's just too bossy. But it's always the seal of trying to make things work. And the school of thought that believe that it doesn't go well is that even if you start a business with your friend, there is tendency to be problem later. How much more your wife? Like, it is a case of when we start the business, everybody wants to boss it. There is always a disagreement on the next step to take and how to take it. So looking at it from that angle, and as somebody who is a lawyer and who is knowledgeable so much about the business, I want to ask, is it advisable on the legal aspect for husband and wife to form partnership in a business, or both of them should have the business together, or both of them should just have a separate business? Is it advisable legally for husband and wife to go into business together?
Now, before talking legally, I think I'll need to bring in some insight into it. Marriage is a school where you have your certificate before you go in for the examination. It's such an institution where you already have your, certificates you have passed. Everybody have said, oh, you have really done well, without even going into the examination hall. And as such, when you are having husband and wife coming together, it's for a purpose. That was the reason why the Bible made us to realize in Genesis 2, verse 18, that it is not good for a man to be alone. There was a purpose why God said that. And when you look at Deuteronomy 2, it mentioned that one will chase 1,000 and two will chase tens of thousands. Then it becomes very important that for us to be well successful in life, you need to really handle the issue of marriage very well. And much importantly, business. For us as a couple, while coming together, we have individual career, individual, businesses that we're having, within ourselves. And as such, while we are registering my own law firm, for example, suggested that we have something like Queen's Attorneys. So we registered that. Then when she wanted us to start our business, okay, why don't you let us try Queensway Stores Limited or something? We registered it, and everything I've been registering revolves around all of these things. So legally speaking, it's something that you can have a joint business legally. And when you look at some countries, most Western world, particularly in the United States, you will see several businesses that you discover that they are family business. They've been in that business for so many years. Their children knows where to buy the products. They know how to go about it. They have the full understanding. It becomes something patriotic in their family. And as such, coming together, doing marriage, during the marriage, doing business together is not something that is bad. Because marriage is meant to be for better, for worse. It's supposed to be something that you enjoy till death do you part. Mostly, the reason why people tend not to go into business with their spouses is because of insecurity. They might feel like, oh, what's going to happen? She's domineering, this, that, blah, blah. It will really take two of them to know their uniqueness. It will take them knowing what they know how best to do. For example, speaking for my wife, she knows how to manage money more than I do. And I think that is general to
that is general to every marriage.
You understand? When it comes to doing business, going out, getting in the money, she could do it. But when you think about, we have to plan, we have to strategize, you have to do the brainstorming and some of the executions. These are areas which I think I could do very well and much better compared to her. So legally speaking, it's something that is allowed. It's something that is permissible. We have one or two companies that we're having together. and we are running together. They are up and doing. In fact, one of them, she's the one driving it. Most times, all I just need to do is, okay, I put so amount of money. When you are making the profit, don't forget my profit. And business is business. Business,
I like that.
You can't convert the profit of a business, and you want to tell me that you want to go and buy Chinese weave on, or you want to go and buy something, use the profit of the business. So no, business is business. We need not go, into that. So basically, legally speaking, it's something that is interesting, and it's something that law actually backs up if we tend to have a joint business.
Oh wow. Oni, you know what attracts me most in the whole explanation?
Yeah.
Business is business. Somebody was like, when we were broadcasting this topic for them, somebody was like, me? No, I don't want to have business with my wife. And actually, he sent a message based on the status. Say, one day, you remember that she would just, I actually use it on the status the next way. Say, one day she would just go there and buy the latest car and still expect me to congratulate her when we get to the house. Actually, most people are talking in that line. Women spend a lot, but when it concerns things of beautification, I give it to the women not to look back when they are spending on that. You know, if we want to buy things like our own normal toys, something like, do you really need that? But nobody asks, do you really need a 150,000 weave on? It's something everybody needs. So in that aspect, looking at that, coming from that angle, if the fear of people is about you managing the money as a woman, or the man who is a spendthrift that will always spend the money, how can we guide against that? Considering the fact that we want to go to into business together, how can we guide that legally, in a legal aspect or in any other aspect, that we guide against, or biblically, or in whatever way we guide against somebody overspending the money in the business?
Now, maybe I should just have a few insights into that also. I look at it that marriage is about self-control. It's about ability to manage yourself and manage the other person. My wife had once said that if they put me inside central bank, I know how to spend the money. And she really knows how to make the money, how to keep the money. There came a time that I asked that, why do you always love to keep money? You are just saving money, saving money. What do you want to use this money for? So it was later in life, maybe 7 years or 8 years into our marriage, that I discovered that you must always have backups. God forbid we have situations where, God forbid, one is having health issues. At this level of our lives, we can't begin to go on television, radio, and begin to beg for money. And as such, if we are working, money is like a currency. You can determine how much you can spend, but you can't determine how much money you see, particularly when you are doing business. Because you wouldn't know when money will come in, and you wouldn't know when it will actually go. Now, for me, I think she manages me when it comes to the issue of money. And I always respect her for that. If we are bringing in money, she doesn't want to say, okay, this is what we are going to do. Okay. Because I've seen her having that expertise. I've seen her having control over that. And if you want to make some business decisions, she'll be the one to, because I always tell her, there's need for you, for you to air this. We want to go into this business decision. Is this something I can do at work? So our input most of the times is something that really, really helps over the time. And when we are doing family business, nothing really stops if both of us, we write on paper, maybe at the back of our door, that this business, this is what we are going to do. As I speak to you this evening, the car that we want to buy in a few years to come, we already know the car. We have the picture and we have the paper pasted somewhere beside our bed. You understand? If you're having an agreement, a business agreement, it's something that you can put at the back, just paste it at the back of your door. This is like a scroll that is binding this business together. Can we look at it? It's for the betterment. And by the time both couples are on the same page, it becomes very easy for them to grow together. And there is something they call grace zone. Grace zone. If you know that your woman is a better manager, there is no problem or any hustle about you allowing her to drive such a thing.
Yeah.
And that is what I've actually, seen over the years. But I always support. Anytime, she feels that, okay, this is what we should do. Why can't you let us do it? So it's something that both couples could have, business together and they could together. However, this doesn't stop each of them from having other individual businesses. For me, I'm a lawyer. She's an accountant. She's a career person. I'm a career person. We have to do a business to augment home front. Without such fund or without such money being put in an escrow account, if we need to do several projects, there is no how we'll be able to do it. So it's going to be contributory some sort. So that is how we actually manage, and I think it's something that has worked over 10 years of our marriage.
Wow.
Thank you, sir.
That's lovely. I also pick another word that I'm going to add to my dictionary: escrow accounts.
Escrow accounts.
For viewers at home that are watching, please, you can start preparing your question as we go along. And this, okay, we will look into that question. And this video will be on YouTube tonight, straight away, on Marriage is Beautiful YouTube channel. If you have not joined the channel, if you are not following us, if you've not subscribed, please go and subscribe to Marriage is Beautiful. You search with as Marriage is Beautiful G4. This video and many other videos will be there. Can we take the question on it?
Yeah, there's a question here. Yeah, that some men see what you're calling manage as being controlling, like when a woman is trying to explain that they should manage something, maybe income or something like that, that it looks like you're controlling them. Wow. How can we manage that?
So that will go to mommy.
Yeah.
When some men see
answer that question. Okay. I must say that while we started our marriage, both of us are both choleric. And you know, when two choleric are actually getting married, is something that we were inside the Barra GRA when we got married. And when you hear any noise inside that estate, they will know that the noise should be from Akinsola's house. You understand? So you can really see out of that thing. And myself being a lawyer, you know, there is a way that thing tends to come in. Until when I personally, said to myself that on no account will I win any argument at home again. So I will be winning my argument in court where I will get money.
I love that. I love that one, sir.
Understand? Let me be winning in court. Let her be winning in the house. So I think I had this inner peace within me. And there was this thing that was actually undergirding us. Irrespective of what is going to happen, divorce will never be an option. We can fight, argue, we could, you understand, but divorce will never be an option. So because we had that at the end, the issue of domineering doesn't even come into play. Because if I feel that somebody is dominating me and I keep quiet, she will want to know, why are you quiet now? I expect you to talk to me. And I'll begin to tell her, this is what you have done. So for a woman managing money doesn't mean that such an individual is controlling the husband. And when you meet your wife before giving out money to members of your family, it doesn't mean that your wife is controlling you. And to misdefine it. And peradventure, because we have some other, we could have some wives who might not be givers. In our own case, that is, we are both givers. And because we are both givers, it will be very hard for me to tell my wife that, oh, let's give this person so amount of money. And I can count the number of times that she had actually said no. So the issue of the person controlling doesn't come into play. And if you ask any member of our extended family, You ask her family, say, nobody will control nickel. You understand? And if somebody in her family is telling her that she's controlling Coyote, they will say, you can't control him. Just, you understand? So some people just leave us alone, do what we want to do, and we maintain it. So it's I think most husbands, we should begin to learn about it. If we are not open to, about our finances to the wife, she won't know how wealthy or how broke we are. Because it will be very hard for my wife to say she want to go and buy maybe maybe $10,000. You understand? Because you know the accounts. I will just say, okay, transfer the entire money, whether you'll be able to use it to buy the wig. So, so if she knows that there is no money, there is no how you will come with unnecessary bills. Because by the time you put all cash on the table, and when there is money, once we have this amount of money that is coming in, what are the lists that we are having? This, we said we are going to do so many. Is it the best time for us to do it? Okay, can we? Let's go ahead. I've seen instances when she said she needed to build a house. And okay, do you have the money to buy land? We buy our things using joint name. So I told her, if something you want to do, let me support. When we want to start, building our office facility, she was contributory. So that is how I think marriage should be. When Bible was actually looking and saying that one will chase 1,000, Deuteronomy 32 verse 30, and two will chase tens of thousands, there was a purpose. Yeah. Because we can't do it alone. Jesus Christ came on this planet, he couldn't fulfill the commission all alone. He had to have 12 disciples. While God was making plan, in that Genesis 1 verse 26, he said, let us. There is this kind of democratic setting that God has been practicing. So wherever you are working on any subject, on any decision, that decision might not be qualitative enough most times. And the way women think, it appears as if it's quite different from the way women think. I think straight and I say, oh, this is what I want to do. I should not be asking, have you done this? Have you done that? So it's really, avoid us or avert us from making wrong decisions. So basically, the issue of control or lack of control or domineering doesn't come into play. Two of us are serious people, serious individuals who have married each other, and we are in it for serious business. So thank you so much, sir.
Wow, that's lovely, deep. And that's very deep. That's very deep. When you talk about winning argument, for an example, something comes to my mind that I saw on WhatsApp status of recent. I think I downloaded it about a man preaching, and he said he wrote something. When I am right, and he named the wife, like, okay, when I'm right and Funmi is wrong, then the answer is Funmi is right. When I am wrong and Funmi is right, the answer is still Funmi is right. When we are both wrong, the answer is still Funmi is right. So in every situation, it has to be her to be right. And they asked her for the reason. He said, having my peace of mind is better than me being right in the house. And what I got to know from what my father taught me when I was growing up is that you never win an argument with a woman. I've come to realize that.
But you do.
No, I don't. Even if it seems like I won, like she's saying now, even if it seems like I won, for an example, there will still be in a month's time that he will remind me rather that on the 4th of September, 10 a.m., you did this. And I just decided to allow the sleeping dog to lie. Not because I think you are right. So don't come with that again. Have I really won that battle? So sometimes you win the battle with women, but you don't normally win the war. And the war continues. So for me, I don't even want to win the battle because that will create another battle very soon. So it's like, let her win the battle, win the war, so that everybody can have peace. So, before the next question, which my wife will ask, I will ask the one that is on the screen. Yeah.
So you're talking about business.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a family business.
The question says, in a family business, could one factor in impulse buying? That there will always be impulse buying. How do you factor that? Like you said, she also can have all the money. And you can tell her, okay, this is all the money that is in the account. You can use it to buy the wig if you want to. And I believe at that point, she won't want to buy it. But there are some impulse buying with men, with women.
Exactly.
How do you manage? Why with men especially?
Adeo. Yeah.
Why with men especially? Hey, now.
Yeah.
The argument has started. It is with men.
For instance, recently I went together with my wife to market because she sells some wares. And at times I will be the one to most times when we are going back home, I used to ask myself, why is it that I won't buy anything? So most times when I follow her, I say, okay, me too, I want to buy 1 or 2 things for myself by the time she's done. So one now happened recently, and we got to a place. I saw this Italian shoe. I said within me that this is really hot shoe. If I summer this shoe on Sunday, people will know that Jesus is Lord. You understand? And she was telling me, I said, don't worry, whether I need it or I don't need it. And the person that want to sell it was just saying, if you buy it, it was made in Italy, you can use it for 10 years, this, that, and very black shoe. And I was always thinking for my job that black shoe is what we wear as lawyers. I think, okay, this is. And while going, my wife said, how many black shoes do you have? And I said, okay, maybe I have 9. I said, okay, add this to it, make it 10. Do you think you need this shoe? Maybe. Eventually, when I got home, the shoe that I wore, and my size, I got back home, I wore same shoe, and it was, in fact, my legs couldn't enter the shoe. And I was, imagine that, what happened? Because I wore this shoe before I left. I mean, the place, it was my size. And the shoe can no longer size me. Most times, or some of the times, in marriage, you will have bought some things and you will get home. Only for you to discover that, do I?
You don't really need it. Wow, network.
That, yeah. We don't really need some of those things, but because of the marketing drive that people have placed on us, that we come and buy this thing, this is good, this is, or people are buying it. And because people are buying it,
I think the internet is from here.
I don't know whether the internet, okay.
Don't really need them. There must have been such in every marriage. But most time, if it is a joint decision that both parties are agreeing to it, the spouses are agreeing into it, let's buy together. The decision at some points, they are always qualitative than you just thinking that, oh, I saw this thing, and the reason why I don't like buying on impulse mostly is that there is no how I will buy something, I will take that in home, and that thing will be cheap by the time I take it to council meeting.
I'm liking this.
Oh my. Yeah. Exactly, that's the language.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Wow.
The network is
network is a little bit somehow today. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. I hope the network will get better, because along the line is a little bit fluctuating.
It's freezing.
Yeah, it's freezing somehow, but we hope it will get better. Can we have the next question you asked?
Yeah. Okay.
Question number 3 right now.
Yeah. So is it Mama? I'm going to ask her.
Yeah, ask Ma this time around. Sir, I've talked a lot. I want to hear Mommy's Golden's voice.
Yeah, Ma, you listening, Ma? People often say that one major issue in spouses joint business is how to ensure you both agree on the vision and the big picture. What is your opinion on this? But I think they've already.
Oh yeah, they talk about it. They talk about it, but most of the time when the business keep growing, it gets to a stage that there will be some diversification in it. People will want to go this way or that. It is at this point that argument normally sets in. Do we really need to have this, or do we need to go along? Like some men will say, if it is working, why do we need to stop it? Why do we need to go this way? But women do see, that's why I'm asking mommy, women do see far ahead of us. We are a unilateral being. Like, okay, like he said, I'm going to, and I just have an idea, I'm running with it. I don't even look back whether this idea needs a little bit of padding here and there, because it's working. Nobody want to change a winning team. But the women will sit down, think ahead, maybe 5, 6, 7 years more than us, and will be telling us, oh, why don't we let us do this? At that moment, I really want to be myself. Today, what is the problem? This thing is working. Why do we need to? Why are you always seeing negative? Why do you think that in the next? And at the end of the day, that which I have been told 2, 3 years ago to try and incorporate into the business, which I refuse, will definitely come up, and I will be like, you get it now? Crashing your head. So my question is, at that point, how can a woman convince a man in a business that is joint that in this period we need to do this?
Okay. Let me put it this way. Before you be able to convince your man that, my dear, should we start this business together? You yourself must have this conviction in yourself that, can I manage this business? Because you can never see a man that will support a woman that is not prudent in spending. We have some women, if you give them 100,000 naira, 8 a.m. in the morning, ask them by 2 p.m. in the afternoon, you will see them, you could have seen them all sorts of the markets. You will see them in Lagos, in Ibadan. Buying online. When are you delivering this? When are you delivering that? They will squander the whole money.
Meant for business.
They will squander the whole money. Meant for business, yes. So you can ever see a man that will support such a woman in starting any business, no matter how little or small the money involved is. So in that case, before you can convince your man that, my dear, can we start this business, you yourself must sit down. Can I manage this business well? Won't I bring into this home? Because it will be a thing of shame. By the time my husband established a business, that, my dear, I give you this 100,000 naira, for instance. Come next 2 months, I want to see the profits that will be on top of this 100,000 naira. And by the time my husband called me, like me now, like my husband has said earlier, I manage money very well. More than that. And the reason why I do this is that there will be sometimes there will be some times in life that your husband will have to depend on you. Not depend that, okay, before he do anything, he must come to you. But there will be some time that we will need you to assist him in some aspect or in some area, either in project, either in his daily routine business, wherever. He can call you, my dear, can you borrow me? Can I have like 50K? Can you transfer 50K to my account? No. I need urgently. And you start murmuring, blah, blah. Oh God, my dear, can you give me till 2 p.m. tomorrow morning? Me too, I'm expecting some money so that I'll put them together. No, it shouldn't be that way.
So majorly, conviction will really start where the wife is able to convince herself. Not everybody could.
How?
Okay.
I guess the internet is afraid of my barrister.
But we'll try as much as possible. All right. So the not every woman or not every man could really manage effectively. But once you are able to recognize who among could really be the driver, who could be the CEO, and once you have identified the person out of the two, then the job of the business vision becomes very, very easy. And above all, there is no individual, there is no wife or husband that will be useless. If such person is having a vision, my wife loves selling. That's more of her calling. I love selling services. But there is a way we could weave around everything to have a bigger picture. Okay? We could have this fund coming in. Let's pump it to your business. You are the driver. I need to do this project. Best some of the business could really go. Then, I mean, above all, our children too, there is a way we'll need to teach them some things. There is this piggy bank, old piggy bank, that we have in our home. For example, all our children, myself and herself, we have the piggy bank, and we have money that we are keeping there. So some of this culture is something that we're saying around some of the decisions that we make. So, just like I was saying, the vision and the people, everybody is embedded into in the bigger picture. So it's something that we usually do, and it's really working to us.
Somebody wrote here, Kolo.
That's the Kolo, the piggy bank.
Yeah, the piggy bank.
Yes.
Wow. So for me to be able to trust her, like Mama said, she herself has to be able to convince me I will be able to manage this money and this business. And well, in the area of spending money, I'll give it to the men. We've had quite a number of people coming on this program, and each and every one of them, let me use this, plus including. Maybe that English would be better. Plus, including myself, I've come to raise our hand up and said, no, we really don't know how to, this kind of saving. Like one of the guests said, I like to spend, and I like to spend with ego. So no way we'll be able to talk about that. We'll move to the next one, and I really want my barrister to please expatiate a lot on it, because it is the issue why this topic came out. We are going to have a business, we agree. We are going to run it together, but we must have a written agreement, a legal document backing this business up. You said a note at the back of your house, or at the back of the door. Some people said no, it is not enough. We really want to have a legal, how do I put it now, document drawn out, explaining this is your portion, this is my portion, this is how we are going to go about it. I want you to look at it first as a Christian, as a pastor that you are, and two, as a legal advisor. Is it a right thing for us to do that when we are going for joint business?
Now, while I was growing up, my father once made an adage, and that adage was quite surprising. I've seen my brothers too using the adage maybe on 1 or 2 occasions, mentioning that owo ololufe aya asan. That if you borrow money from your spouse, you shouldn't return the money.
I was there. Well, this in network.
You are not. Do you think the wife will trust you any longer to borrow you any money? Now, if you are going into business with your wife, we need sincerity of purpose. That is most important. Both parties must agree together.
Wow, this network. All right.
under that contract. However, if you are to enforce such a thing, peradventure, either the husband or the wife actually failed, are you going to take the person to court, or what are you going to do about it?
Just it.
No,
I don't know.
What we can do is that, anyway, we have not tried it before. I mean, signing a paper. Because if I bring out that paper and I'm showing it, who will I report that to? That I say, okay, you are supposed to do this thing and you didn't do it, so she'll just be laughing. You understand? So what I would say majorly is that we can sign it for accountability purposes. Yeah. We have agreed that this, we are not going to do it while doing this business. This, that is what we are going to be doing. Then if we agree to work together on that lane, sincerely speaking, it's something that makes family or union to progress. Let me start an example. My wife was doing a contribution at her place of work. And you know, all these are joy, adako of a thing. And I know that naturally, for her, she will surely keep up. Instead of me to say, okay, I will just take one, no, I say, okay, let me take two. So we got to meet the way. I couldn't meet up. And I now told her that, okay, what are we going to do now? She said, there is no
going back.
No going back.
Okay, that if she marks up, by the time they are disbursing the fund, that she will be able to refund the parts at which they have contributed. And I said, what about we use that money, the entire money that money to do a joint business? She said, no, that this will be at stake. Maybe I'm going to be having 30% while she'll be having 70%. I said, no. You see, was because we didn't write it down. Some way, if you know that this is what your capability could really take, you could go by it. If you document some things at home, it is good. But in case your spouse runs foul of some of those things that you are writing down, what happens? We'll begin to count it as a sin for them. You begin to reason that, that was how I gave her so amount of money. She was not faithful with it. It's going to be running the other person down. So some sort, if you execute such contract to really bring it, or to make it to come to reality or to enforce it, might be difficult. So I encourage people to do it in the early days of their marriage. But as the understanding grows, people can tend to begin to go away from it. But something that is good, particularly for a husband who is more of a spendthrift, that is here to learn some basic principles and discipline about money management, is important. It's like the person is entering a financial school or financial literacy. Until it was when I got married, I began to learn some things. If I want to give somebody money, I don't know how much I should give. If somebody is doing burial, for example, or somebody is doing birthday, I don't know that, okay, once you give the person, say like 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira is enough. If I'm having 100,000, I'm willing to give you 50,000 without knowing what's going to happen to me the following week. I don't know what I'm going to eat the following week as a single, but once I just have it, then give them. It was when I got married that I discovered that, okay, you need to feed family, you need to keep for children's school fees, they are resuming, you need to do things at home. Now, let me give another example concerning some of these unwritten contracts. I have a certain amount of money that I drop at home on weekly basis for upkeep. I've seen like 1 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, not consecutively, that I failed. I didn't drop that money. And she was counting it. Now you are owing me, the total money you are owing now is 80,000 naira.
Of course.
Now, I said, okay, which court are you going to? Because I'm failing now, I'm defaulting. Not to say but because we don't have money at the moment. You understand? We are still going to pay. It's just we don't have it at the moment. But the thing is, if the spouse is able to count on you, bank on you, that if he has, he will give more, then there is nothing that the opposite party won't be able to do by the time you are in need. For example, I can entrust money or business into my wife's hand than managing it myself. Peradventure, I could manage people, but I can't manage money. I can't help you to manage business. I could only consult for you. I write policy paper for you. Then go and execute it yourself.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's strategic plan or paperwork. But if it has to do with the real work, I think she could do it. She could really manage, no matter how small. Then because we have gone through the thick, the rough of life, we've had instances in our early days of marriage where we've had like 4 cars, had like 5 cars, and there came a time that we were having just only 1 car. And that only 1 car was having hole inside it. No AC, nothing. At times you'll be driving within the estate, you use one hand to manage and close the door of the car. You'll be using the other hand to drive the steering. When people are greeting you and you are not answering, they say you are pompous. They won't know that you don't have any other hand to wait for them. You have one hand on the steering, the other one. No. You understand? Because we have gone through all of that. No type of food that we cannot. We are not posh people and we are not local. So my wife understands that I could eat anything once it is eatable. Yes. Because we are not expecting to eat, this is the type of meal that we must eat, this is the type of cloth that we must wear, and we don't do beyond our means. We don't buy things that are not extremely important. There are projects that we are developing that when you get to some of our facilities, you ask, you guys, you are starving yourself. Not that we are starving ourselves. There's going to be a time in our lives where we won't be able to. Yes. We'll be having arthritis, old age will come in, we won't be able to have as much energy as we have now. Yes. We're having much of the glory now because we have strength. There will come a time that we need to plan. The earlier we allow some of these things to up, and we have, a family assets, family wealth, the better for us. Because there will come a time that we might not be able, nobody will be able to employ you or give you any job. By that time, I'm very sure in our 70s, 80s, if the Lord tarries, we will want to have more of it. So thank you so much. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, very well, very well. Actually, it answered my question very well. And I really appreciate that joke about you having to hold one thing. We said it here to people that we are bringing in real people who is into real marriage, who can be able to analyze real situation for us. We're not packaging things to show that marriage is this and that. And the final question, because yeah, we have like 10 minutes more, and the final question is joint account or separate account for spouses. This is where we are going to stop today. This is where I just want you to give your own view, because a lot of people are asking questions on that. Joint account or separate account for spouses. You can deal with the question anyhow you feel like.
Maybe you talk then. Joint account.
Well, we have joint accounts and we have our separate accounts. Because of the business I do, there is no way I can have a joint account with him because of some reasons. Because of some reason best known to me. I won't be able to disclose on here.
No, before Lamborghini will come in the next day.
So we have accounts where we put fund on it in case we want to pay kids school fees. We have some emergency to attend to at home. We put money there on monthly basis. If it is weekly basis, depending. I have like 3 or 4 streams of income in which I get money from on weekly basis, monthly basis, daily basis. So no matter how little or how small, we put money there. We ask ourselves, Andy, how much have you put in that account this week? Though Emma Remigel, don't tell me that your foot, you must put something there. So, yes, let's keep funding because of, if not for us, at least for children and for the progress of the marriage. And we have our separate accounts. I have mine. He has his.
Now maybe I should just lend some words to it. There are no two identical union or identical marriage. You have peculiarities in different marriages. I've seen people, marriages where the wife calls the husband daddy, where they will need to kneel down. I've seen people calling the husband by name. There are several things that are obtainable depending on. My wife doesn't call me by my name. We have names, that we call ourselves, and we enjoy that. But for the joint account, my wife has a business account. She has a personal account. I have my own business account. I have my personal accounts. And the reason for that is because there are times where we'll need to pay staff salary, we'll need to do so many things that are being operated at office level. I'm not the one who is to drive the account. So my personal account, there are a few things that I want to buy that I have my ATM with me. They are petty, expenses that I want to run. I want to buy fuel because I wouldn't want to wait for my wife to call. Call my wife that I want to buy fuel or I need to give my dry cleaner money. You understand? But depending on individual marriages, I've seen people who said having a joint account that really worked for them. For us, we have a joint account where we put in money. It's exclusively for the family. Even the piggy bank, the colo, we have separate colo in our house. She has us, Yinka has us, Shegun has us. So all of us, we have separate colo. And the reason for that is simple. There could be, because it has happened in the time past, I've broken my piggy bank because I saw the need to make use of that money on that very day. So that is that for piggy bank. But for joint accounts, there are instances where a marriage will be having joint accounts. But much importantly, the more we bond together, the better. Once there is openness, that is the most important. Not that I'll be having any secret money and keeping the money somewhere. Because it has happened before. I'm currently doing the letter of administration for somebody. And before the husband died, I think he was having maybe about 22 million or something in one account. It was unknown to the wife. I asked myself that if my wife and my children, they couldn't access that fund, and the fund just goes into one third party after the one has left this planet Earth, it's to whose benefit? So I wonder the reason why people will begin to keep money. And I've seen women or some ladies joining the contribution, and by the time they join it, you just hear, "What's it go, Misalo?" Because they wouldn't have told the husband from the beginning. And by the time they do an external person, you are not having a qualitative decision. Then the money is wasted. So it's important that openness is good, either jointly or separately. But we maintain both separate accounts and joint account, depending on what we want to do. The kids are at home now. They'll be resuming, shortly. We must have a pool where we have to draw that money. Because by the time they want to resume, personally, I might not have enough money. But once we have a pool where to pull such money, then it becomes very easy. I don't know if this answers our questions. And is a very
wow. I want to say this, we are rounding up right now, that it's been a very fantastic, wonderful session. And it has been eye-opening. For those who are saying joint account, separate account, asking questions about the legality of going into business with your spouse, I think they've learned a lot today. And I really want to appreciate you, sir, despite your busy schedule, that you took time out to be with us on InstaLivewithSeyiFunmip. Thank you very much. God bless you. We appreciate you, Ma. We appreciate you, sir. And we want to say this, if Jesus tarries in his coming, one of these days we'll still have you back. I know a lot of people are online now still saying that our time is short, but the way it is always a short time. We only have 1 hour and we have like 3-4 minutes to go. And we'll be asking the couples question. We are not going to ask you to pick. We'll just be asking random question. And if it is you, you have to raise your hand up. We'll be asking quick random question about the two of you. If it is you, you just, if it is her, you point. If it is you, you point to yourself. Who is the early bird out of the two of you? Who wake up early? I don't need to ask the next one because I know definitely she is the one that manages the money better. So who is the fashionista?
Fashionista.
Yes, the one that loves fashion.
My barrister.
And
Nice.
the next one is who wants more children out of the two?
Who wants more
Who
children?
will be like,
More
yes,
children.
like I wish you have one more.
Wow. That's good.
I want to have like 7.
Finally.
And finally, the very final question. Who is the most careful driver out of the two?
Careful driver. Wow.
It's always women.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I really,
We
really appreciate you, sir and ma. And for those who are asking the question, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any question?
Is there any question we are looking? Okay.
Network.
The network.
And there's no more time. Right?
And we don't have time. The network. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, she drives better and she drives more carefully. Though I happen to be the one that knows how to drive.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We don't want to know that. We are just asking for the best driver. We are not giving award to who teach.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I like.
So
the viewers say thank you.
all right. Before you go, we just want you to say thank you to the viewers out there. We want to say thank you to you, and we want you to understand that we appreciate your coming, and we will expect in some other time to have you around. Thank you, ma. Thank you, sir. And any other question that you have, please, you can drop it on the YouTube page when we upload this, and definitely we will send it to Barrister Akinsola to answer, and then the answer will be coming back maybe in the next episode. Before the next episode, before we'll be having you again next week Friday, SeyiFunmi and the Akinsolas are saying thank you.
We love you. Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you, viewers. God bless you.
God bless you. We love you.
Yeah.
All right.